Yo, God is so good. He will take the tragedy of our life and turn it into a testimony. Today we're going to continue with our gems and our nuggets from the life of Joseph. Stay tuned. All right, so the last time we spoke for our motivational message, we were with Joseph in chapter 39. He was doing the right thing. He stood for God. He told Potiphar's wife no. And the repercussion or the consequence of him doing the right thing, he was thrown into prison. Today I want to continue with chapter 39 and talk about his prison sentence and even how it flows over into chapter 40. One thing I want to reiterate, if I don't reiterate nothing else, I want to reiterate this with you. In the midst of these horrible situations that's going on in Joseph's life, the Bible says, but the Lord was with Joseph. So sometimes we feel like we have a prison sentence. Lord, I'm in this uncomfortable situation. Lord, I'm in this awful space. Lord, I feel trapped. What did I do to get here? I want to encourage you. I'm going to keep encouraging you. God is with you. The second thing I want to reiterate from the last time we spoke and the last time we met is that although you may be in a prison, you may be in an unappealing circumstance, you may be in a situation or an environment that you feel is unfair, that you feel is unjust, that you don't deserve to be there. I want to encourage you with the knowledge that you may be in this prison, but you don't have to be a prisoner to it. See, the Bible says at the end of chapter 39 that Joseph, when he was in prison, God blessed him with favor with the jailer to the point that the jailer didn't pay attention to what was underneath Joseph's authority. He gave Joseph authority inside of the prison system. And everything that went on with the prisoners, what they did, what they ate, everything was entrusted to Joseph. That doesn't sound like someone who's a prisoner to me. So God may allow an unfortunate circumstance to be in your life, but you are not a prisoner of it, especially if God allowed it in your life. Today I want to focus on what happens in the prison. Reiterate, God being with you. 2, in the prison system, you may be in the midst of unfair circumstance, but you are not a prisoner to that unfair circumstance. The last thing I want to focus on today is the growth and development of Joseph. See, what we see in common in Potiphar's house, his daddy's household, and even here is that God was blessing him to develop and groom his natural gifts. See, and when he was in Potiphar's house, everything that Potiphar had was entrusted to Joseph. Every single thing was entrusted to the slave. Potiphar didn't know anything except what was in front of him to eat. He gave Joseph the authority over everything. And the same thing happened to Joseph when God was with him in the prison system. The jailer did not look over anything that was underneath Joseph's authority. So God can give you this favor, this supernatural favor in these prison circumstances, in these unfortunate circumstances, but be in a position to where you can be trusted. So as God was blessing him to develop his natural gifts and on repeat, we see God being with him. One thing that happened in the prison system that did not happen in Potiphar's house was that Joseph was allowed, he was allotted the opportunity to exercise his spiritual gifts. See, in chapter 40, we meet the Pharaoh's butler and his cupbearer, and these men are sentenced to prison, and Joseph has the opportunity to minister to them because they both had troubling dreams. And Joseph said, does not God give the interpretation of dreams? Tell them to me. So as they were telling him, Joseph was able to talk with them and exercise the thing that God gave him, even as a boy in chapter 37. He was able to minister to them. He was able to tell them what their dream meant. He was able to prophesy into their life. So one thing, if I'm able to take away from this gem, this nugget, that our prison system, while it's unfair, while I don't want to be here, while I don't feel like I belong here, God will give you the opportunity to minister to those who may have even belonged in their prisons. He will give you the opportunity to exercise your spiritual gifts. So on today, if I can leave you with these 3 nuggets, in the midst of your unfortunate circumstances, in the midst of these circumstances that are not fair, not just, you don't deserve it, can I encourage you once again? 1, I'm going to keep saying it, the Lord is with you. 2, you may be in these prisons, but you are not a prisoner to these prisons. And 3, God is grooming you, and God's going to give you the opportunity to exercise a gift that only He can endow. You're going to be able to minister to someone in your prison. I pray you've been blessed.